Team USA got themselves another blowout win in the FIBA World Cup. The latest country to fall victim, Jordan. So let's talk some global b-ball. This guest knows his international basketball. He's a contributor to the Action Network and NewYorkPost.com. He's Bryan Fonseca, and he's on the line to talk about, well, this blowout, Team USA's quest to global dominance, not just USA dominance. And it all started last night with, or this morning with Timberwolves star Anthony Edwards putting on a show. My man dropped 22 and 8 in just 19 minutes. On a roster full of stars, Bryan, is it safe to say that Edwards is Team USA's go-to guy?
Yeah, he's the best player on this team. He needs to be the best player on this team, quite frankly, because he can reach the highest ceiling on this roster, and Anthony Edwards is really that good. You've seen it so far in the World Cup, but there has been little resistance to show otherwise. I mean, you know, they've had their way with Greece, they've had their way with New Zealand, they've had their way with Jordan. And in the next round, you know, which we'll talk about in a little bit, I'm sure, but they're going to see Montenegro, they're going to see Lithuania, and these are matchups that are favorable for them as well. There are some challenges that provides, but as far as this morning goes, Anthony Edwards was great. The entire team put up 110 points. That's not something you see regularly in the World Cup, even as the game gets more offensive. And, you know, really this team is just very, very good, well put together from top to bottom.
Well, I'm glad you kind of foreshadowed that, kind of talked about the teams that are going forward, because like you said, it may be more competitive basketball. And head coach Steve Kerr shook that starting lineup up. He put Knicks guard Josh Hart in the starting lineup instead of Pelicans Brandon Ingram. So is this getting these guys ready for competitive basketball? Like, why the change up and how'd that work out?
Yeah, Brandon Ingram's just been bad, honestly. Like, he hasn't played well, and this makes a lot more sense. I actually thought when constructing the roster early on that he was going to be the sixth man because he's somebody who can play that Carmelo Anthony role. And I feel like that's what Team USA was envisioning as far as, you know, Team USA in the World Cup is concerned. But with Josh Hart, it gives you an added dimension of somebody who you know is not going to need the ball. Brandon Ingram kind of needs the ball in order to be effective. Josh Hart does not. Josh Hart is most effective when he's going up for rebounds, when he's actually, you know, putting in a lot of work defensively and giving you the hustle plays in order to win a basketball game. Like, Josh Hart is that ultimate glue guy type of dude that you want to have in this starting lineup. And you have the added benefit of not needing to go super big yet, although they have a couple of challenges coming up where they're going to have to play Montenegro and Nikola Vucevic. You're going to have to play Lithuania and Jonas Valanciunas. So matching up with size is going to be interesting there, and Jaren Jackson Jr. is going to be put to the test. But for now, Josh Hart does make a lot of sense. And in most matchups, Josh Hart does make a lot of sense in the starting lineup.
Well, I kind of looked past Montenegro, who they play on Friday, and I was going to ask you, like, the next competitive team was going to be Lithuania on Sunday. So can you kind of break down the Montenegro matchup and Lithuania? Could these be two teams that make the U.S. actually break a sweat, or are we kind of looking at another blowout or blowouts?
Yeah, they should be able to handle Montenegro. I'm curious to see what the spread is going to be. I think it might already be up as of this recording, but it's going to be a large one. And they should beat Montenegro, other than Nikola Vucevic, which that's going to be the test, see how they handle that size and girth. Not a lot that they're going to have to worry about. Their guards could handle Kendrick Perry, who's playing on the Montenegrin side. And you're going to have with Lithuania just sort of a well-balanced roster. You have multiple 7-footers or near 7-footers that you're going to have to worry about in Jonas Valanciunas and Donatas Matsahunas. And also you have, you know, a couple former Knicks, Iggy Brasdeikis and Mindaugas Kuzminskas. I hope that I got those names right, but y'all know who I'm talking about. And, you know, Lithuania has more of a well-balanced team. That's going to be Team USA's first test, so to speak, in this World Cup. But it's one that I think they should pass, and they should comfortably get to the quarterfinals.
Really fast, 10 to 15 seconds. Which country could give Team USA the biggest run for their money?
It's hard not to say Canada right now.
Okay.
Canada just has, Canada just has the highest defensive ceiling so far. They're very well put together. And I think that we could be looking at that in the finals, which a lot of people expected going in. But ultimately, we'll see, because this is a long tournament and anybody could lose on any given night. But Canada is probably the team that could give, right now, USA the best run for their money.
All right. Team Canada. RJ Barrett could give them a run for their money. Bryan, thanks for joining us.
Absolutely. Anytime.